live Q&A in the Integrated Life group. Thank you so much for your patience with me while I've been healing. I am feeling good now, and thank you for all those amazing messages of well wishes that were sent to me. I got dozens of well wishes just from this group alone, so I appreciate you and thank you so much. I'm feeling a lot better. So let's jump into today's Q&A, our questions for today. First question: I'm an ENTJ. I've spent my time achieving so much. First in a corporate environment, I hated it. I have since built up another business which is successful. I dislike it as well. I moved to another country once. I didn't like it and moved back home. We're in a lockdown now, and I can't wait for it to be over so that I can move into a different country. My fear that I keep buried inside me is that I won't like wherever I move to. What can I do about this? This is a fantastic question. First of all, thank you so much for asking this question. This is so challenging for our ENTJ friends, because the challenge there is that I'm not an ENTJ, but ENTJs have such high standards to certain things that when those standards aren't met, or when we feel like there's something wrong with that standard or with that thing that you're doing, it's possible to overly fixate onto that one thing that's not right about that situation, job, business, adventure, country that you live in, whatever, that it takes over everything. So it almost like it stains everything. And this is a very normal challenge that ENTJs have. And what it actually technically is your 3-year-old inner child, which is called the ethicist or inward feeler. They detect something that is not right for you, and then they override the executive decision maker, which is your adult self, and convince the rest of the inner family that you need to change everything in order to have some resemblance of happiness or some form of being able to stay in the situation. So the challenge there is that your inner 3-year-old and inner 10-year-old are in cahoots with each other. So the 10-year-old inner child is outward-facing sensing, whom we call the investigator. So when the ethicist 3-year-old recognizes something that isn't right for you, then the 10-year-old inner child investigator starts looking for other things that are wrong with the situation and keeps feeding it back to the ethicist, who keeps saying, see, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Because if you've done the 4 people within course, you know about the levels of consciousness, you know about this, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the unconscious mind. And our information collecting is predominantly directed by our subconscious mind, which takes orders from our conscious mind, which means that if our conscious mind has made an observation or a decision that something is wrong, and we say, this place isn't perfect either, then our subconscious mind, which is often one of our information gatherers, usually our information gatherer inner child, starts looking for what else is wrong with that situation and starts, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It starts feeding it back to you. So you go into this loop of confirmation bias. Yeah, that's not right. Yeah, this is a horrible place. So ENTJs can get into that negative spiral where you notice something that's not wrong, and then you start feeding on that and keep piling on that until your whole inner family goes like, you know what? This is bad. Let's find the most effective way out of the situation and just, move to another country or move back home. So what I recommend that you do is that you engage your inner parent, who is the witness, the inward intuition, because the inward intuition is actually your introspective space. So how you engage this is you look at the patterning within yourself, where you can see the investigator feeding that corrupt information of only the bad things to the ethicist inner child, the 3-year-old, and intervene with that process by pulling out the things that are good about this current situation. So for ENTJs, it's very important to keep the focus on the good, so that you can harness the power of your inner children in propelling you forward by just supporting yourself by focusing on the positives. Now, it's not a magic pill. It takes a lot of work. So it's your adult self-executives, that part of you needs to decide that it is actually worth your while pursuing different aspects, different positive aspects of your life. So a lot of the time ENTJs and ESTJs too, interestingly, because they have the executive as the adult self, that's something they have in common. When they decide that they're going to be happy, generally they can actually just decide and be happy and start looking for the positives. So that's a good thing about your type as an ENTJ. But the problem is too that if your adult self isn't very strong and they've decided that you're only looking for the bad stuff in life and that's the fastest way of shifting through stuff, then you're predominantly going to be focusing on the bad. So my challenge to you is start learning about the introverted intuition, the inward facing intuition, the witness. Start learning about that part of you, because what that will do is it'll start engaging it in different ways. It'll start normalizing it. So look for books that are autobiographies that are written by, or other books that are written by people who predominantly use inward intuition. So INFJs, INTJs, those kinds of people. So look for those books written by those people, whether they're autobiographical or autobiographies or other books, and then start normalizing. It's going to feel weird initially to you. You're going to feel weird about it because it's not your normal modus operandi. Your inner children are going to have a problem with it. They're going to challenge you in it. They're going to say, this is stupid. This isn't authentic. This isn't blah, 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 whatever. Just keep the discipline of reading, or keep the discipline of listening to material from INFJs, INTJs, that will help you acclimatize your inner parent better, so that you'll have better access to it, because it is your inner parent's, introverted intuition's job to parent those inner children and get them back in line. Wherever you go, you bring yourself with you. So if you are the common denominator that you hate something, you hate the corporate world, you don't like your job, you moved somewhere you didn't like it, you moved away from somewhere you didn't like it, you're worried. You should be worried that you're going to go somewhere else and not like it. And the way that you can break that pattern is by engaging your inner parent better. If you need more help with that, you can go on to Sumiloff.com, grab the 4 People Within course from there. That's helpful. That's going to give you a lot of different ideas. I mean, I'm an INFJ. I've written that course, and I'm in a process of rewriting it. So if you do purchase it now, you'll get a free upgrade on it when it comes out in August 2020. And so that's one option. It really will help you engage that inward intuition that you so need in order to break that pattern of negativity in your life. Okay, I hope that helps. Let me know if it does. If it doesn't, get in touch with us, desk@merjasumiloff.com. Would love to hear from you. Let's sort this thing out so you can get on with your happy life, wherever you are, whatever you're doing.